I'm Joe Vore with FlickDirect, and we are here with the director and 2 stars of Everybody's Talking About Jamie. Thanks so much for taking the time. How's everyone doing this morning?
Yeah,
Thank you, Joe.
thank you.
Very
Thank you so
good,
much.
very good. So, Lauren, Max, I want to start with you. Don't crush my childhood-like imagination here, but is it as cool as I imagine it is to shoot and live this musical? I mean, how much fun was it to do this movie?
It was magical, like all of the costumes and the sets, and it was so exciting showing up to work and being like, we're shooting a scene in a nightclub today. I have no idea what that's gonna look like. Surely it can't look as cool as I'm picturing it in my head, and then it looks even cooler.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was just a joy, although it was tough and had its challenges. Obviously, this is our first ever film. All 3 of us, this is our first ever film, so we're going into work every day not knowing what to expect. So, you know, it is like that moment when you're opening presents at Christmas or whatever, and you're like, oh, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? And you're like, ah! And so yeah, it was crazy.
That's awesome. And I want to talk to you about this, or really all 3 of you about this next one. So I noticed in one of the musical numbers, right, there were clips of, we see Freddie Mercury, we see Princess Diana with AIDS patients. And, you know, I think about those moments now. Us 3 weren't alive during that time, but those were huge moments and, you know, big parts of history. Those are huge figures. Yeah. Now, do you think when a younger audience, you know, people that are our age and younger see this film, do you think it'll, you know, clips like that, not only them specifically, but then lead to learning about other people, you know, from the past that have kind of paved the way? Do you think it'll spark like an interest and a curiosity with a younger audience?
Of course, and that was the hope, that was the desire. And also, you know, that is my generation, you know, and I went on those marches, you know, and I very sadly lost people along the way. So to pass on that story, both to our audience, and actually really importantly from Hugo to Jamie, you know, to tell the story of where he came from, how he paved the way, and not that things have changed. The conversation has changed with this generation, this younger generation, but it's not changed for everybody. And so those battles, those places that you have to kind of fight to take your place, is still happening across the world. And so it's also to inspire people to go, yes, you can. Yes, you can get out on the streets and make a difference.
Yeah, and also we sit on the shoulders of so many people that have come before us, generations, Johnny's generation, so that we can tell stories like this in a more free, you know, commercial space. So it's important that our generation really, you know, it's so important that number is added for the film so that we can, you know, continue to learn and get to know our history.
Absolutely. I mean, even Jamie, your character even referenced that. I remember, you know, I believe it was, you know, both of your characters talking, and you guys were like, wow, like, yeah, I mean, compared to what it was, we have it so much, you know, those people paved the way. We owe a lot to that earlier generation. So that was really cool. That also, I mean, we're talking about it now, but also within the movie, you know, that was a point that was made. I want to talk to, you know, I know, like, as you already mentioned, everyone in their own right is making their film debut with this movie. But I wanted to ask you specifically, was there like something that, you know, just a really cool moment that stood out, or a big surprise, or a question that was answered just about movie making in general during the production that you were like, oh, so that's how it is, or this is how it goes?
So many questions were answered for me, because obviously, like, it was every day was a complete learning curve. I think the one thing that I learned as an actor is that there's no right way to do anything. You know, I got to work with some amazing actors on this job, from Lauren to Richard to Sharon to Shobna to Sarah. But what I really learned is that everyone works completely differently and preps in a different way and delivers lines in a different way, and that made me feel valid in my own craft, and know, you know, I'm not having to be prescriptive or having to do this any particular way, and I'm going to find my own way through it.
So we see with the heels, right? And then the first shot is just of your feet. I'm like, okay, is a stunt person in there? Who's doing this? We, of course, find out that it is you. Now, how do you feel your film debut? And quite literally, I mean, I've never tried to put on heels, but as far as I'm concerned, this is one of the great performances in cinematic history. So to get that out of the way, in your first film debut, I mean, how does that feel? I mean, just talk about that, because I know you had a coach and everything else.
Yeah, I had a coach. It was crazy. I mean, I got to hit so many things with this character, you know, heels, drag, you know, the more vulnerable sort of dramatic acting moments, and then the crazy pop star moments. And it's been so brilliant to see a queer hero in the center spot, not being the victim, not being the sideline comedy character, and get to do all of that range of stuff. But The Hills was just completely fantastic and a dream come true, as well as scary in the wind on a wall. So it was really, really amazing.
Did you get to keep them?
No. I can't steal anything. It's my first job. I'll get in trouble.
True. Okay.
I want to be employed again.
Very good. Very good. Well, Lauren, Max, Jonathan, thank you so much for your time. Congrats on everything. Excellent movie. So thanks again.
Thanks,
Thank you
Joe.
so much.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.